Hey guys, so 4 months in, um, has dragged a bit. Feels like 4 years to be really honest, but it's definitely going. So it is. Yeah, as you can probably tell from the tone of my voice, not really 100% all happy and jolly, but a few things have happened, and I thought I'd just sort of blog about it and yeah, just say how I'm feeling. So. It's funny because from about a couple of weeks ago, nearly breaking the chastity with my girlfriend Claire to yeah, breaking up with her a couple of days ago. I suppose a lot has sort of happened and sort of transpired, so I probably just want to talk a little bit about it and see what comes out. So I'll probably start with nearly breaking the chastity bit. So yeah, I caught up with my girlfriend Claire just for like a late night dinner after she had finished work. Missed her. Only get to see her probably once a week or whatever. She's pretty busy. And at the end of the night, we were just saying goodbye. We went to the car for a bit of a kiss. And then, yeah, just I was like I, I was like a man possessed. It was like it just all came out, and I was like a dog on heat. Um, like you have to understand, like Claire is absolutely stunning, and like she's a 10. And I really, really fancy her, and it just felt like I felt like this the next natural, most natural thing to do was just to go through, I suppose, and I'm just very, very thankful to her that she stopped me from doing it, for keeping going. It was a weird experience because physiology and biology just took over me, and it just felt like I was stopping the most natural thing to do next, and it was a real struggle. It was like probably in my head I don't care about anything else but this now. It was probably coming from a really selfish place. But I suppose after not having sex for over 4 months, it was like, yeah, it was crazy. Um, but I'm really thankful that Claire stopped it. She was like, "No, like what you doing? Can't do this. Like this is stopping now." So then I sort of came to my senses. I came out of that man possessed. And then I suppose a bit of frustration kicked in and stuff, and it was just like, oh. And then I sort of looked at the bigger picture why I'm doing this and trying to focus on that. So yeah, that's why I posted that thing a couple of weeks ago about yeah, nearly breaking it. But I'm glad I didn't, and I'm being honest about that. Like I haven't broke it, but it did come really close. And if it wasn't for Claire, I don't know. If it was anyone else, like maybe someone that didn't know what I was doing or whatever, I would have broke it, and I don't know. I wouldn't be able to live with myself the next day. So yeah, so that's that. Um, and then from that to actually breaking up with her a couple of days ago, which I'm reading about. I'm just not feeling myself at all. I'm very sad. Um, but I suppose I could a lot of stuff that's came from it, a lot of stuff that I'm learning about myself that has came from it. It's at the time you think it's the other person and blah blah blah, and you think you're blaming them for not doing this or blaming them for not doing that. But ultimately, it always comes back to yourself. Like you're always looking at the other person, and they're always holding up a mirror, and it's showing you something about you, but you maybe don't get it at the time, and you play the blame game, and you go, "Nah, I deserve better." All this shit, this story that we tell ourselves. But whenever you sort of peel it back and sort of reflect, which I've been doing for the past few days, you sort of go, right, there's definitely something that's happening here that's nothing to do with the other person. Um, what we broke up about was that the care factor. I didn't think Claire had any care factor, and I suppose I've got a lot of rules around what love's supposed to be, how I'm supposed to be treated, and yeah, she wasn't ticking these boxes, and there's there's an element in that Claire does own up to, and I'm not going to talk about that because that's I can't talk about that. This is about me and what I'm feeling, and that's all I can talk about. So, but for me, this care factor probably thing has, if I look back past relationships, has probably came to the surface a few times, and it's probably something that I'm dealing with it. I've addressed it now, and I'm going to seek a little bit of help around it because it does seem to have a pattern, and the rules I have set around what a relationship is supposed to look like and how much care has to be involved. I don't think is coming from a normal sort of healthy place. I think it's coming from childhood, which I know it is actually, because there's probably two things in my life that you can probably ask my sisters, who know me the best, or my mum, where I struggle, and is relationships and money. And yeah, they're nodding their head now. But I can whenever I start looking back and start thinking what is the goal there, what is happening. I can date back to like a child, and my dad, the relationship I have with my dad. Um, um, my dad's he's passed away about 10 years ago, but from a childhood he worked away a lot. He was at sea. He was in he worked for P&O on the ferries and stuff. So I hardly seen him as a kid growing up. When he was home and stuff, he was doing his own sort of stuff, which is fine. But as a kid, I suppose I didn't feel cared about. I didn't feel loved from him. My mum was opposite. She really um, pampered me and spoiled me, sort of thing. And if I sort of link back the sort of things that were happening then, there's probably, like, this is why they sort of I'm welling up with tears, because there's definitely that inner child that we have hasn't processed the sadness and feelings around what happened. Um, as an adult, like your dad was the main breadwinner, bringing in the money, for us to have a good life. Like money was never like an issue for me growing up. It was, if you needed money, you got it. But as soon as I got it, I spent it. And I still do. I have nothing in my bank account because I get rid of it. And I've never sort of linked up why I do that. And the truth is that because as a kid, I've linked up making money. Was linked with my dad never been home and not caring or not loving me. I don't know if that makes sense, but as a kid it makes a lot of sense, because whenever your dad's not there, you ask your mum, where's dad always working? He's bringing in the money, blah blah blah, and you think, right, you link money with no care, no love. And I can definitely see that now, and it's something that I'm going to address, because it's the two things for me. So the money's one side of it, but the care thing is the other. So since then, being a kid, I've definitely set these rules and it's probably very very high rules. And if I don't get it, like, I just think that they don't care, and I'm linking that back to not being loved, and it's all coming from that childhood, that unprocessed sadness and anger, and it's not true. Like, I know it's not true at a logical level, but subconsciously I brought this and linked and just found evidence and more evidence that I'm not loved and not cared for. And in every relationship that I have, I probably look and go, "Nah, I'm not feeling loved, and she's not caring about me. I deserve better than this." But ultimately, that's not true, because they do. They just have their own way of showing it. And I'm finally getting it. Because I've had definitely a few relationships, and they're all teachers. Every person you come into your life is a teacher. And Claire, to be honest, has been the biggest teacher. for me. Um, so yeah, so that's what's happening, and I don't know what's going to happen with myself and Claire, but I just really need to do this stuff for me and deal with this and iron out those little creases, and definitely I know there will be a change in my life in regards to money and in regards to my relationships, because I'm going to break this pattern, this stupid cycle that's going on. And yeah, like the no sex thing between me and Claire has definitely a little bit of frustration, but if we were having sex, it would have definitely clouded what the real issue was, because I would have got that feeling of love and care through sex, and I wouldn't have addressed this, so I would have got my needs met in a different way. And so the no sex thing has affected us a little bit frustration wise, but the no sex thing has definitely been good, because instead of this happening a year down the line and me breaking up or cracking the shits, it's happening now. But it's happening now and I'm doing something about it, and I'm really grateful for that. And I suppose just taking full responsibility. And Claire's my beautiful soul, and she's so smart and intelligent, and she's really shone a big light on this and really explained it to me. So now it's just up to me to go and do something about it, and yeah, that's all I really have to say. So I don't know if I'll post this, but I just had to say it. So speak to you soon.